Alright, let's get on. So we have to meet up with this guy here later at the bar, but I think we got some time to go check out that witch problem. Sorry, herbalist. Whatever. I'm just hoping you can stab somebody. Or burn somebody. I don't trust medical practitioners anyways. Come on, jump over it. Yeah, there we go. Nailed it. Does this road even go out that way? No. Oh, that I checked. What's that? You enjoy cameras of sleepy cats? I've got some great news for you, friend. There appears to be one right above my head. Oh, she's so tired. God damn it, it's adorable. Find the road. Jesus Christ. Alright, here we go. We seem to be on track. Another shrine, you say? They're just trampling it. There you go. The horse just did like a side trot. It was not very awkward. Let's see what's going on here. So far, everything seems legit in this forest. We gotta get out there. I want to be able to get back in time. I'm worried we won't get back in time. Maybe we have to wait another day or something to talk to him. I'm sure it's not a big deal, but I'm sure the man has a very busy schedule. Saving souls is tiring work. I hear. Oh, stop running into the stump. Okay. It's a bunch of deer. I'm not gonna bother shooting. This must be the lady. She does indeed have a garden. Yep. Let's see what she's been up to. How's my armor look? For a second, I look like nothing. I'm kind of dirty. Might be in my best interest to try to wash up. Is there something around I can wash up in? No. What's all this stuff? Oh. Oh. Alchemy stuff. Makes perfect sense, I suppose. Alright. Nope, that's dried up. Alright, let's talk to her. Herb woman. That's like
they're saying you incited some women to witchcraft.
Me? Witchcraft? That's nothing but idle chatter.
Well, it's good enough for me. I feel like this usually works out pretty well. I mean, that's my high score. I feel like I should be able to intimidate her.
You'd be wise to give me a straight answer. I mean you no harm.
I just can't do it.
As long as it's the truth you speak. Very well. I'll tell you everything. I've done a very foolish thing. It's preying on my mind so much I can't sleep a wink.
I'm supposed to believe an old witch has pangs of conscience.
Laugh if you like, but it's not a word of a lie. You probably know I sell various magic lotions and potions alongside my herbs. Well, there's one I wish I hadn't sold. You see, Vera, Zlata, and Kuta from Uzhitz wanted a magic ointment from me. I kept refusing them, but in the end, I let them talk me into it.
Alright, what's the ointment?
One that will show you a world no one else can see. A place of wonder and terror. The flowers might start talking to you, or the earth could swallow you up. I don't know if it's the work of the devil or of God himself, but the ointment has that power. But it could poison any person who doesn't know how to use it right.
So all this talk of witches, anointing themselves and then flying to their sabbaths on broomsticks.
The ointment could make a person see such things. But it was stupid of me letting those foolish women get their hands on it. They could poison themselves or fall off a cliff while they're lost in a dream.
Will you give me the ointment recipe?
It contains belladonna and the herb Paris.
Yeah, I bet it
both
does.
quite poisonous plants. That ought to make you think twice about dabbling with it.
It won't.
So why did you give them the ointment at all?
Because I'm soft-hearted. You see, one of those women, Vera, lost her whole family in Skalitz. And Zlata's husband was killed. And the youngest of them, Kuta, miscarried with the horror of it all. They said they wanted to use the ointment to speak with the
look at
dead
us,
and
Caleb.
ask them to put a word in with the Lord.
This is PC. I should put that in the title. I'm sorry.
I understand how they feel. But I reckon it'll get them nowhere but the ducking stool and the stake.
Judge not, lest ye be judged. I didn't want to give them the ointment, but they offered me a pile of groschen. So I thought how desperate they must be, and I heard.
No, I understand.
Their plea or the clink of their coin?
Appreciate you coming by and saying hello. No, I understand. I mean, the PC, it plays pretty well, so. But you never know. You never know what it's going to be like on a different console.
And why are you so worried about them all of a sudden? What changed your mind?
I'm losing sleep over it. Firstly, those women don't know what they're doing. And secondly, folk might see it as witchcraft. And do you
I appreciate it if you stick around.
witches?
If you don't,
Burn them alive.
I totally understand.
That they do. So don't be
That's been pretty good.
surprised I'm worried.
It didn't bother you before, though.
Anyways, we're just following up with this lady who's being accused of witchcraft.
What did they
Sure.
want the ointment for?
Each one of them lost a loved one recently, and it's grieving them. They wanted to talk with the dead.
I've heard enough.
If you've heard enough, you must understand why I need your help. Find out from those women what they intend, and watch over them to keep them safe.
That's fine.
Very well. But only because the priest himself asked me to.
Thank you 1,000-fold. I'll go to the Reverend myself and explain. You take care of those women.
Simple enough. I learned paganism. Doesn't seem like a good thing to learn. Alright, so they're all over the place. Talking here. Must be the three of them in there. Alright, that's fine. I mean, that's where we're heading anyways. Hop back in the horse. I'm hoping we find a bandit or something on the way we can murder for sport. Oops. Fell off the... Get back on the path. That's good. I'm just going to keep going east. Well, hello there. I believe I just saw 2 dead maidens. I did. I don't see anybody around. Okay. Well, that's one hell of an accident, huh? It's kind of lame that I can't, like, search them or take anything. Might be related to this quest, though. In fact, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if it was. I heard they ran off into the forest, and we haven't seen them since. They're just dead. Dead to mushrooms. I don't know. I don't think I ever got officially titled as a knight, but I am part of the service of one of the local lords, so I think I'm more of like a guard than a true. Whoa, sorry, guy. That's why you shouldn't talk and drive, right? So I mean, I am doing like guard stuff. I'm trying to hunt down some bandits for the local guy. And while trying to follow a lead, I found a guy who had been like murdered pretty gruesomely. So that was pretty cool. The priest said if I helped him out, he would tell me what the guy said in confession, basically. Where am I going here? Yeah, I mean, that works. Alright, let's go here and see what they have to say. Get in the door.
Answer me.
I'm in a private area, but I want to talk to you.
I've heard something about a magical ointment.
Really? I'd like to know where from. And what concern is it of yours, anyway?
The priest is worried.
The priest? It's nice to find out what telltales you have for neighbours. But believe me, it's none of your business. Or the priest's.
She appears to be balding.
That's enough. What I've heard already amounts to a burning offence.
Oh, it's threats now, is it? I've never heard of anyone being put to the stake because of some ointment. If it's fire you want, go back to your damn forge and stop bothering me.
Well, that's very helpful. Maybe we can try again.
I've heard something about a magical ointment.
Really?
The herb woman sent me.
Gertrude? What does she want? More money?
It's not about the money. She's concerned about your health. That ointment can be dangerous, and she wants me to make sure you don't do anything foolish.
It can't have got any more dangerous since she sold it to us.
Alright, well, I guess lastly we'll just ask her about the guy that was murdered.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know how I can help you, but ask if you must.
So far you haven't been very helpful at all.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
There wasn't sight or sound of him for a long time, and then yesterday he turned up at the church and even talked to the parish priest. I never saw him do that before. Probably had a bad conscience.
Who was this Lubosh who was murdered?
You could see at first glance he was no good. I kept well out of his way.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I don't think he was home. I didn't see him all day.
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time with? Kin or friends?
As far as I know, he had nobody at all in this world.
Yeah, you haven't
That's
been
enough.
helpful.
Thank you.
You don't have a name. Okay. Not interested in talking to NPCs without names. I assume they won't do much for me. The next person wasn't too far from here. Come on, get over the fence. There we go. Is it you?
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa.
Start with this guy.
Investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well.
Ask away.
We already heard that speech.
Who was this Lubosh?
He was a drunkard and a beast, and lazy too. Idle hands are the devil's tools.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
The only thing seemed suspicious was how a rogue like him suddenly started going to church. Now I see why, of course.
As a man with a lot of free time, I take offense to that idle hand comment.
Do you know what Lubosch was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
What do I care about that scoundrel? I was glad he stayed out of my way.
Do you know who Lubosch used to spend time?
He was always a loner. Except lately, he started talking to the parish priest of all people.
That's all. Thank you.
I heard something about a magic ointment.
You heard that where? And what business is it of yours?
The priest is concerned.
We'll try the priest round again.
The priest can go to hell.
Oh, okay.
All he cares about is filling his belly. And then that bastard
Guess
talks
that's not
down
gonna
to
work.
us from the pulpit about temperance and humility. It's because of his sword, the lords and the humans here, that killed my husband and children. Where was the priest then, eh?
Maybe practicing his swordsmanship. We'll try the intimidate.
I don't quite know what's going on, but I'll find out one way or another. So I'd suggest you start talking.
Look, there's no need to make threats. There's
Maybe
nothing
hold it up.
going on. Well, maybe a few spells and such, but nothing that could harm folk. We mean well, I swear. Our souls are our own concern. God has forsaken us, and we have to fend for ourselves.
She has a giant axe. You don't have a name. Alright, so what? Hold on, what's next then? Serious ways. No. Conscience. No. Playing with the devil. Follow the women to the woods. Alright, they do it at night. Makes perfect sense, I guess. And it's perfect because that's something we can do after we talk to the priest in the quote-unquote evening. Fortunately, that means I think we're gonna have to put off the killing for a bit. But you never know, maybe someone will jump out of a bush and I can stab him for fun. One can only hope. Where's this damn priest at? Hanging out by the pretzel shop, huh? I did run into town and immediately have to chase down some guy who robbed somebody. Punched the living crap out of him. It was pretty awesome. I think it's just a random event, not really coaxed by anything. So it seems like he's right here. Perfect. Perhaps it's time. Actually, let's talk to you. Do you know anything about that guy?
Good health to you.
Good health to you, sir.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Yes,
I
yes,
don't
yes.
know nothing about it, but to ask all you want.
People full of crap, man.
That man Lubosch who was...
I didn't really know him. He...
These are all grayed out. I'm gonna assume there's something to see here. Instead of talk about it over and over again. Alright. I don't want to stay here for the night. Am I just supposed to wait here for the guy? Maybe it's just telling me where I can wait. It's really not that helpful. Ale housemaid. Do you know anything? It's all grayed out. Okay. Let's just kill some time then. It says evening. I don't know what counts as evening. So we'll just wait a while. Cat's still sleeping? Fantastic. Hoping another cat gets in there. Double the cat cam. Okay. And this is an evening, I don't know what it is. This is 7 o'clock at night. Come on. Yeah, here he is. Let's sit down, talk.
Ale as usual.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything, but maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
So if you didn't... Oh shit, that's timed.
I'm from Skalitz.
Sometimes conversations are timed, so you have to answer in time.
I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Seem pretty cheery about that. Random ladies just coming in and joining the conversation.
It must have been terrible.
Hello, random miss.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do.
Well, it looks like crap, man.
I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans.
I did take it from a dead guy.
They almost killed me. They slaughtered
Could
people
certainly
in
look
surrounding
better.
villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but they...
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
My pleasure.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujit, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Noyo? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to...
This is the crime I'm following up on.
They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home.
The one who's dead? So I'm talking to this guy because the person I was trying to follow up on, just in case I didn't explain this clearly enough, who had something to do with this raid, is dead. But apparently before he died, he talked to this priest and gave him a confession. I'm trying to get that information out of him.
I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that of a man of the cloth.
See if we can
You
butter
know
him
what
up.
they say, the Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
As you wish.
If I say this, you'll probably say, well, no, hold on. But I don't want to necessarily fight him either. Let's stick
You're
with
just
this.
making excuses. The people who say the church is corrupt are right. You don't care about anyone, only your own comfort.
I'm sorry you see it that way. Really sorry. You've no idea how wrong you are.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits isn't Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And, of course, describing them in detail. A tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Who is this damn woman said it was?
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language.
Chats.
And the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison. and nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Hell for me. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor.
He's getting really amped up
seen
about
by
this.
God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
So I believe that
Funny.
story is the actual like
It reminds me of someone.
What do you mean?
start of the.
My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
I believe. I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut him off. That's kind of the start of the Protestant Reformation, which should just happen in Germany, around this area, I would think. So maybe that was it. Preach against debauchery. What do you think of us?
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticizes the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up, and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They
Or
can't
both.
burn a master of the most respected university in Europe?
Thanks for the sermon, but I think
Turns
I've
out you
been
can.
already uplifted enough. It's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
That sounds
Sure,
like a
why not?
good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
I have like no drinking skill. Oh, actually, just leveled up. So I'll probably be pissed drunk for like 2 days. Also, I took off my crappy helmet. And that lady's still there. That lady just walked through your table. These are amazing things. Certainly magic going on, dark magic. Now we're gambling. This seems like a lot of sinning for a Catholic. Now we're arm wrestling. This is ridiculous. I'm so glad I chose this option.
Enough of this!
Bailiff! Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can ride is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
That was actually pretty funny. So I can see where maybe this wasn't the best idea. For sure seemed like a lot of fun.
You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
No, this could be a bad idea. But I'm for it, because we get to punish somebody. Alright.
Alright, now you're dead.
No, I'm swing and a miss. Get the crap out of the bailiff. They're getting beat up from both sides.
It's not all him.
Because I'm a man of the cloth, I won't think you're ours.
Hold on, I see people typing. I need to focus on this because I'm.
Get your penance now.
Let's gang up on this guy. Come on, come on, come on.
Get your penance now.
I'll slay you.
Come on, stop this nonsense.
You get your penance now. It's a sin.
I won. Hey, Hobby, how are you? Thanks for coming by. You came in at like a great point. I think I won.
And Henry too, I'm sure.
Now I think I'm gonna get laid.
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
I'm so drunk, I can't even see the freaking stairs.
I care. What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dear. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Godwin, you're a buffoon.
Godwin's concubine? Well, they're just pretty open about that.
What are you doing?
I'm walking in. I was invited. I don't know if I have or not. It depends on what you're qualifying as.
Look at this beauty.
All the missions. I'm out of Hathaway. I mean, main story line wise, I believe I'm done with it.
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
I did some pickpocketing missions up till I couldn't do them anymore. I stole a bunch of things until I couldn't steal things anymore. As far as I know, that's all the missions.
Ah, bloody oath.
Oh, my cat left the cat cam. How sad.
And now, my dears, comes the climax
Turn it off.
of the evening.
I'm in a private area.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here. Oh.
Oh wow, this got R-rated.
Mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
No, I haven't done that. Unfortunately. And that could be because I feel like a lot of things are kind of lacked behind the main storyline missions, but some missions are just bugged too because the last pickpocketing one you can't turn in, and I went online and lots of people are saying they were just not able to turn it all in.
Hey, watch it. What?
We're goats. I get it. What the hell is going on in this game anymore?
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Sure, this is gonna come bite me in the butt later. But I guess I got laid, so that's good. Is this like a 3-day binge?
Godwin, you beast. Get up. Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards.
Oh, fucking hell.
Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, stay on my head. Oh, my guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something.
Must be Sunday.
What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
Have you ever seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state.
I kind of feel like that's what's going on
I
here.
have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me. I'd like to help you, but you can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose as Sir Ratzig's protege, you just came from studying in Prague, and you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look, from what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan.
Maybe he'll teach me how to read.
Oh.
That'd be nice.
How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
Bingo, there we are. Hold on. I'm listening. Nice to level up drinking even more. Alright, let's end the episode here.